The Dewalt 20 volt impact has long been a staple in the Dewalt lineup, but that might have changed. We've been using the Dewalt 20 volt drill in the shop here for years now. As a cordless impact, it's just been the standard go-to. We've had it in our trucks, we've had it on our tables, we've had it everywhere. And we've generally had good success with them and been happy with them. However, in recent years, we have had a little bit of a shift, and we are tending to shy away from the Dewault impacts just a little bit. And while they've always got the job done, and they always did what we needed, and rarely have we had impacts just completely give out on us, there's been a very, very common issue with them that happens surprisingly quickly to an impact. And these are not the latest models of the Dewault Impact. They are pretty recent, last couple of years for sure. So we've kind of been shifting a little bit. And the main issue we've been having is it's an inconsistency in I guess the trigger sensor. When you hold the trigger in at a set spot and you keep it at that spot, the speed of the motor will vary. So if you're running, let's say you're running a screw into the wall of a cabinet, and we generally try to get the screw head flush with the surface of the cabinet. And so at first you're just running the screw in, and then when the head gets close to reaching the cabinet, you want to draw it in flush, so you slow down, and then you just bind it in nicely. And we've had issues with that because right when we get to the head, you start slowing down, and then you just want to go slowly. But when you try to go slowly, you get this like do thing, and it's hard to. It creates a lot of difficulty in controlling the depth of the screw, and it's kind of like an all or nothing. Like you'll be pulling the trigger in to try to get a nice slow drive, and it'll just all. I'm just going to be running a few screws into these blocks here, just to get a little bit of a feel for what we're dealing with. So it's a little bit difficult to show with the screws, and as a viewer, you're not really going to be able to feel it at all. I can feel it in the drill internally, and it does create difficulties. As a viewer, you're not going to be able to see it. So one way of showing it as well is when I hold the trigger in at full speed, you can hear it go like the change in tone a little bit. So we're just going to be trying that a little bit just to try to give you a more direct example. So I'm just going to pull the trigger down the whole way flat, and you can just listen to it. It'll be like almost like it's shifting. So that would give a really good example of exactly what we're dealing with, and we've had it on multiple impacts. I don't remember the exact number of how many we've had it on, but it's been several. So we've actually been switching to Milwaukee. Right here we have two different types of Milwaukee impacts. So this is the 20 volt brushless motor impact XR. This is like the top of the line Dewalt from what I understand. It's not the atomic, and I think maybe they're a newer thing, they might have some benefits, I'm not sure. But this is not the cheapest line of impact for sure. And this is the one we've been having issues with. This is the Milwaukee non-brushless impact driver. So this is kind of their baseline impact driver, and then this is their Milwaukee fuel brushless impact. So this is their top of the line impact. We've had no speed control issues with either of these. We have these on both of the trucks. This one in particular is new, but we've had quite a bit of experience with the others. We've had no issues with those. This one has no speed control issues whatsoever, and this is the basic line. So it's absolutely non-existent. So when I pull this trigger, I can go as little as I want, completely consistent, still consistent. that's how the Milwaukee does. Now I'm going to try to do a similar. So I tried to do a similar of a trigger speed. I'm just going to run this one again. That's the Milwaukee. I'm going to do this a little quicker. You can hear it. It's just constant, and I'm trying to pull the triggers as steadily as possible. I'm just slowly pulling them in to max. And this one is the same way. This one's probably even better. All that to say, the Dewalt has some serious issues somewhere in the trigger, sensor, the motor. I have no clue, but somewhere something is tripping up, and it has caused a lot of issues. So we have been switching to the Milwaukee. Overall, as far as just an overall view of the Dewalt, it is a very decent drill, and these do run a little bit cheaper than the Milwaukee. Generally, just a little bit cheaper. But it's a good impact. It's just these are some issues that we've been having continuously, and maybe they'll work out the kinks. Otherwise, overall, we've had no other serious recurring issues. I will say, as far as feel overall, one thing that is noticeable is the battery is loose on these. On the Milwaukee's, it has a little bit of play, but it generally feels structurally binded to the freaking thing. These are just a little bit looser. Very minor. This isn't even a lot, like a huge difference, but it's just something I've noticed. Overall, that's kind of all I have to say about them. An impact is relatively basic. I mean, it has the automatic locking chuck and everything like that. That works great. Haven't had issues there. As far as the feel of these impacts are really hard to beat. But as far as overall, Dewalt has very good feel on their tools. They generally have just comfortable handles, easily accessible triggers, and everything like that. However, Milwaukee's impacts in particular are also very comfortable. Some of their other tools are not as comfortable, but in the impact line specifically, they're pretty much equal by my perception of them. We will be doing a little bit more of a comprehensive review of the Milwaukee impacts in the future. This one especially we have been very impressed with. This is the Milwaukee Fuel brushless one, which would kind of be the equivalent of this. So this one in particular is the compact version, but it's the same drill as the regular one. And we will be reviewing both of these. We've been very impressed with them, and there's definitely some things that I really like on. So that review will be coming sometime in the future. With that said, thank you very much for watching. If you don't mind, just drop a like. And if you're interested in more videos, we're going to be doing some more reviews and other content about building and constructing and installing custom cabinets especially. And we're also going to be going over our truck setups, which are really sweet, entirely Milwaukee pack-out setups. Extremely impressed with that whole setup. And so we have some videos coming with that. If you're interested in any of that, just subscribe, or if you're not, just do anyway, or don't. We'll see you later. Now I gotta take this thing out.
Go along with that.
This thing is